Alright, answer for that one should be 11 over 21. Alright, answer for this one should be 1 over 14. Number 3. Alright, answer for that one should have been 31 over 30. Go ahead and bring your number up for the lottery. Okay, numbers for today are 4 and 14. Okay, flashcards, just go ahead and say them out loud.
20. 2. 15. 24. No, 12. 12.
6. 42.
Alright, homework check is going to be up here. Alright, keep track of how many you have right. Number 1 should be 1/2. Number 2 should be 1/3. Number 3 is 1/2. 4 is 1/2. 5 is 3 over 10. 6 is 3 over 5. 7 is 7 over 10. And 8 is 1 over 5. 9 is 4 over 5. And 10 should be 7 over 10. Alright, questions on the homework? Alright, if you have the extra credit answers, go ahead and bring them on up. Alright, number 1 should be -3, -8. Number 2 should be 1/4. 3 should be 1/2. Number 4 should just be 1. Okay, objectives for today. We're going to be doing the Pythagorean theorem, solving the polynomial equations by factoring, and simple and compound probability. Our learning target is to review for your test tomorrow. Or I put study. That should say review. Sorry. That should be review. Alright, example number 1. Does anybody remember the formula for the Pythagorean theorem?
A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Right. Oops. A and B are the legs, and what is C? The hypotenuse, right. So we want to plug in our legs, plug in our hypotenuse, which we don't know, so that will leave it as c squared. What is 12 squared?
144.
144. 9 squared?
81.
What do we get when we add these together?
227.
Should be 225. What do we need to do next?
Get square root of both.
Right, square root both sides. The square root of 225 is
25. No, never mind. 15.
15. That should be your final answer. Okay, we're going to be solving this by factoring x squared minus 2x minus 15. We need to figure out what two numbers go here and here. What number do we want to look at first? 15. It's a -15, which means we want to find the factors. What two numbers multiply to be -15? 1 and -15. -1 and 15. What else? -3 and 5, and -5 and 3. What's the next number we want to look at? Right, the coefficient in front of the x. What two factors will add to give us -2? -5 and 3. So those are the two numbers that go here. What do we need to do with these? We need to set them equal to 0 and solve for x. When we set these equal to 0 and solve, we should get x equals 5 and x equals -3. And that is our final answer. Alright, practice problem number 1. Alright, answer for this one should be 19 out of 30. Solution. Alright, we're going to look for a leg this time. So we'll have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're going to be plugging in 12 for b squared, or for b. Plug in our hypotenuse, which is 20. What's going to be 12 squared? 144. What's 20 squared? 400. Alright, we're going to need to subtract 144 from both sides. When we do that, we get 400 minus 144. What's that going to give us?
366.
Should be 250. Should be 256.
Yeah.
Yeah, 256.
Alright. Take the square root of both sides, and our final answer should be 16. Alright, practice problem number 2. Alright, answer should be 2/3. Practice problem number 2, we're looking for the factors of positive 12. What are the factors of 12?
Negative 6 and negative 2.
Negative 6 and negative 2. Can do 6 and 2, 4, 3. Alright.
Are you kidding me? You put two negatives together?
A negative and a negative makes a positive. We went over this in class, you guys. Negative times a negative gives us positive. And we're looking for two numbers that add up to be negative 8. So negative 6 and negative 2 will be our two factors that we're going to be using. So we put in negative 2, negative 6. We set x minus 2 equal to 0. Set x minus 6 equal to 0. And we solve for x. So our answer should be x equals 2 and x equals 6. Okay, example number 3. This one's going to be a probability question. We have a spinner that has 4 equal sectors. 2 of them are red, 1 is blue, and 1 is green. After spinning the spinner, what is the probability of landing on a red or a blue? Remember, when we have or, we need to find the probability of landing on a red and add it to the probability of landing on a blue. What's the probability that we will land on a red?
2 more.
Right. We have 2 red spaces, so there's 2 possibilities of landing on a red out of 4 total sectors. Alright, what's the probability of landing on a blue?
1/3 or 4/3.
Right, there is 1 blue sector out of 4 total sectors. And we add these together, we get 3 over 4. Can 3 over 4 be reduced?
No.
No, so that means that is our final answer. Okay, for example 4, another Pythagorean theorem question. What are we looking for, a leg or the hypotenuse?
Leg.
A leg, right.
Oh, leg. And one's a hypotenuse.
Then it's not right.
Okay, plug in 15 for our B, plug in 17 for our C. What is 15 squared?
225.
225. What is 17 squared?
289. Also finding a leg.
Right, we're finding a leg this time. Okay, we need to subtract 225 from both sides. We get a squared is equal to 289 minus 225. What does that give us? Right, 64. What do we need to do now?
Find the square root.
Square root both sides. A should equal 8, and that is our final answer. Alright, practice problem number 3. Alright, answer for this one should be 17 over 24. Bonus number 4. Alright.
Answer 17 over 28.
Alright, answer should be 17 over 8.
Be dog.
Alright, practice problem. What is the probability of rolling a multiple of 3 or a 4 on a 6-sided die? Since we have an or, that means we're going to have to find the probability of rolling a multiple of 3 and add the probability of rolling a 4. What is the probability of rolling a multiple of 3?
2 over 6.
Right, 2 over 6. The only multiples of 3 on a 6-sided die would be 3 and 6. So there are 2 possibilities out of 6 total. And we add the possibility of rolling a 4. What are the probability of rolling a 4? 1 out of 6. When we add these, we get 3 out of 6. Can that be reduced?
Yes.
Yes. Our answer should be 1/2. You have. All right. Practice problem number 4. Alright, answer should be 7 over 8. Solution for the practice problem. We have 25, 7, and one of our legs is missing, which means we're going to have a squared plus 7 squared equals 25 squared. What is 7 squared? 49. What is 25 squared?
625.
625. We need to subtract 49 from both sides. We get a squared is equal to 625 minus 49. What's that going to give us?
576.
Alright, what do we need to do? Square root both sides. When we find the square root of both sides, it's the square root of 576. 24, and that should be your final answer. If you had that, go ahead and come on up.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On the last.
Where's that?
Oh, good.
I'm gonna